Hi there, it's Sandra with Brew City Thrifts. Today I am at the Goodwill in Wauwatosa, and it's a steamy hot day. It's a Thursday after work, and I'm eager to get in there and see what they have. So let's get in there, let's hit it. I'm at the back of the store today, and the first thing I pick up is this sketch. It's a print, but it's a fun one, and it's kind of appealing to my nerdy heart. So it is by R.C. Madison. He was an artist in the 1980s. Well, this print is 1982. So it is vintage, it is fun. They're asking $10 for it. It's just a little bit much for what they typically will sell for on eBay. So I'm going to leave it. On a nearby shelf, I see this piece of hand stitchery. This is a cross-stitched depiction of some seagulls, only $1.99. I do like cross-stitch. This one's a little simple, so it's going to stay here at Goodwill. Scanning the nearby shelf, I next pick up a ceramic tile. I've been picking up a lot of ceramic tiles lately. They do pretty well for me, and this is a vintage one with a great horned owl on it, and it's got a mate. It's the same tile, and they are from, it says a wildlife series by Rom, R-O-M, and they're definitely vintage, especially if you turn it over and look at the back. The matting there is quite worn. I'm going to take one of them. It only has a small chip on the edge, but I think it's fine. I noticed these prints. I would maybe put some money down that these are Marjolein Baston, but they are not marked to be Marjolein Baston, nor are they marked Hallmark, so possibly not, but I thought they were nice. I do love her design, so I will pick up something that looks like it could be by her, but since it wasn't marked to be by her, they were going to stay behind. There's something underneath a few things here that I want to pull out, and it is this. This is a brass wall art that is intended to be seagulls flying together. It has it looks like it's trying to look mid-century, but looking on the back, it's made in China. I don't think it's vintage. I think it's contemporary, and the quality is not going to be as good. So while I like the design, I am going to put that back on the shelf. And then I noticed this. It is an monogram wall art hanging in the letter H. Brought to you by the letter H, says our old favorite television show, Sesame Street. I do like the look of this, but looking on the back, it's very contemporary, probably from one of the big box stores. So these are both going to stay here on the shelf. We're in the China sets area, and the first thing I pick up happens to be a surprise, because I'm like, oh, this is kind of a nice plate. What is this? I don't recognize the pattern. Turning it over, it is Polish pottery, friends. And I can't pronounce this. Boleslawiec, help me. I'm sure I'm butchering that. But that is a lovely piece of Polish pottery. That is definitely coming with me. Back on the shelf, this looked to be vintage. It is a little bit worn on the gilding, so I do like the little floral motif. It is a Canonsburg Pottery Company piece made in the US, but a little too worn to take. Nearby, I noticed this pretty colorful plate. It does have a Studio Potter's mark. It's contemporary, it's fun, but I'm going to leave it. Back here is a pretty Noritake plate. It is the Juanita pattern. I do sometimes pick up Noritake. It's got to kind of wow me, so that one stays on the shelf. Got some what might be hand painted plates here. This is a brand I don't recognize, 2225. They're made in Indonesia. They're pretty. Then down here, I'm going to pick up another what appears to be a hand-painted plate. And it's Pier 1. Sometimes I pick up Pier 1, but in this case, that pattern was not super blowing me away. So it was going to stay on the shelf. Oh, this is interesting. Look at this. It has a very 1980s vibe to me, and it's got some really fun, colorful graphics on it. It is called VitroMaster is the brand, and it is, I guess Metropolitan is the series, and it was made in Indonesia. It's good looking stoneware, but it does not bring a very high price online. And here is a different pattern of the VitroMaster. I thought as a serving piece, maybe it was going to be more collectible, but it has a big chip. We're among the mugs, and I am looking at what I think is a Portuguese mug. That's a Portuguese rooster, and it's got a little chip on it. Yes, it is Portuguese, but sometimes those roosters bring in some good returns. And then back there is a llama or an alpaca from South America, a mug, and very cute. But my go-to is, as you know, hand-thrown pottery mugs. And then sometimes, just sometimes, rarely, I find this, which is my other favorite kind of mug to find, which is a peekaboo mug. Now, if this were vintage, it would be such a celebration. This is not vintage. This is made by Urban Outfitters. It is a contemporary mug, but what a cute little snail in it. It's got this freeform, cute design. I really love it. I'm super happy to have found it, and I am definitely taking that with me. Look at that little face. Oh, I love this. I noticed this pattern right away. This is Port Myron or Port Marion. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. This is the Botanic Garden pattern. I collect this myself. I have a lot of Port Myron Botanic Garden pieces. These are a set of saucers missing their cups. And I put them in my cart because I want to look around and see if we can find those cups. And sometimes saucers themselves are worth selling on eBay as replacement pieces. I also noticed this pottery piece, this plate. It is only $1.99. It's nice. It's a little on the plain side. I decided to return it to the shelf. Well, I love a handmade child's dollhouse. Now, this one is not handmade. This looks like it is commercially made, but it's still nice. It's wooden. It has lots of room to play. It is only $4.99. What? Unfortunately, I don't need one. I'm not going to grab it. It's so big, but I think somebody's going to be very happy finding this here. Normally, I don't spend much time in the personal items section of a Goodwill, but I did notice this pottery bottle, and it looked like it might have some age. The name on it is the Fish and Ring brand. It's definitely like a stoneware bottle. I did look it up online. It really only goes, I saw sold price for about $6 or $7, so I left it there, but I thought it was kind of cool. So we've got some brass candlesticks here, not very old, and behind it a hand-painted plate with roses. Sometimes I might pick up a plate like this. I can't read that label, but roses are not my favorite flower to pick up, and there's no signature, so it's going to stay. I thought this little glass dish underneath it possibly had some age. And then I noticed this little figurine. Now, I am not one to pick up figurines, especially of dolls or babies, and this is really not my jam, but the little bare butt pajamas was kind of cute. And when I looked under the tag, It looks like it is Napco, which, you know, this is a vintage piece. It's probably the 1950s. And so, and it does say you can see 195 there. It's a 1950s piece. I love it for the age. I love it for the sort of cuteness factor. Um, it is not typical for me, so I'm thinking about it. I decided let's put it in my cart, and I'll keep thinking about it. They do go for, oh, I don't know, $16 to $20 on eBay, so I'm gonna put it in my cart and think about it for a bit. It's got a little damage though. I saw this very pretty hand painted sugar bowl. It's got some, maybe, I'm not sure what kind of flowers those are. Not botanist, sorry. I don't always recognize the flowers. This is by ZS & Co. That is Z-E-H Scherzer, Bavaria. That is the maker. And it's a nice one, but I decided to move on. I thought this threaded glass jar might be old. It felt a little lightweight, so I went on. Here we've got some, as you know, this is Ray Dunn. Sometimes her pieces are still worth picking up. That tea container wouldn't have been a bad pickup, but I just didn't want to mess with it. Got a pretty glass bowl with a hydrangea print there. I do know that flower. So we've got some tchotchkes to look through. Here are some figurines with the ceramic lace on them. Here, I don't even know what these are. This was a very heavy stack of glass, circular glass pieces with copper on the rim. Not really sure what those are for. If you know, tell me. And then a cute little trio of poodles. And then I saw this. This was interesting. I was hoping that was stone on the top, but it's actually ceramic. And it's kind of like a project piece with a plastic cup on the bottom. You know, it's made into a kind of stylized vase with a flower frog in there. Kind of cool, but not quite what I'm looking for. And then we've got a vintage Raggedy Ann and Andy ceramic or chalkware plaques, but not going to take those. We're near the vases, or in the vases and planters area, and here's a teapot out of place. So I'm going to take a look at it, and it says it's Lipton's tea. Now, Lipton tea is the tea that I grew up on, because back in the day there was basically Lipton's tea and maybe one other kind. So it had a chip on the spout, so it was probably vintage, but it was damaged, so I decided to leave it. This brass vase was kind of nice, but lighter weight than I would want it to be to pick it up as a brass piece. It looks like that looks like a studio or handmade vase there. And then I saw this. Now this was to my liking. It's got a flower frog inside, and it's pottery. And unfortunately, oh, that's thunder. I've got a thunderstorm going on right here. That's just thunder if you're hearing that. And my boyfriend dinging me. But that pottery piece was damaged, so I did have to put it back on the shelf. And another kind of home style project piece. And this was a nice look to it, but look what happens when I lift it up. It's not actually a vase, so I'm going to leave that there. We've got some Italian pottery looking pieces here. This is definitely looking like hand painted Italian pottery. And on the bottom, I would have to peel it back, but I'm pretty certain it is. I decided to leave it. The quality wasn't super high, and I was just like, I don't think so. This one looked like it had quite a bit of age, though. It also had a huge crack. Unfortunately, because I was thinking this now could be potentially even antique. The maker is Bonafama. I don't recognize that maker. It's got some Italian words on it. It's nice. Again, the damage is too much for me to pick it up for reselling. So, and then one right there also had a chip. Okay, it is cart review time. We don't have too many things, but some nice things. The first thing we're going to look at, we never did find the cups to go with the Port Marion Botanic Garden saucers. And while you can still make some money just selling replacement saucers, I decided to put those back. Then, of course, the little Urban Outfitters snail mug, the peekaboo mug, that's definitely coming home with me. I love that. I picked up some cat note cards for my business. I usually include a card with all of my sales, so that's going to be used for my eBay business. I am tempted to take this Napco vintage little figurine, this baby figurine. It's sweet. It is old, and I really liked it, but then the damage on the finger just made me think if it weren't damaged, I would have taken it. I just didn't want to try and sell something with a missing finger like that. Then we've got the Polish pottery. Definitely happy to have found that. I rarely find Polish pottery out in the wild anymore. I'm really happy to have found this great horned owl ceramic tile. It's cool. It's mid-century, so another nice pickup.
The sun is right in my face. So we only got a few things, but I am super psyched about what I found. I have not found a peekaboo mug out in the wild for so long, and this was a snail, which I've never found in a peekaboo mug. So I love that. And then Polish pottery. Who doesn't want to find some Polish pottery out in the wild? I do. Happy with that too. And then that owl tile, vintage, cool, graphic, loved it. So yeah, I'm super happy with the few things I did get. Like my channel, subscribe, and comment, and come back. Why don't you tell me what your current bolos are? You know, be on the lookout for the things that you are really keeping your eyes open for. I would love to hear it. And in the meantime, thrift on. We'll do this again.